the best thing you ever had. All right. I am going to do a Divine Masculine reading now. Okay. So let's just hop right in. I'm going to start with the tarot, actually. Let's start with a little bit of tarot. Masculine, Divine Masculine, Ace of Wands. Feeling a bit passionate, are we? Let's see what else comes out. Masculine, what's going on with this creative passion that you're feeling brand new about? Could be feeling a little bit physical, you know. Oh, wow, the Five of Swords. No freaking way. All right. It's happened with the feminine too. So masculine could be feeling a little bit of, well, let's get one more. Let's get another one so I can see like what's up with feeling this energy. Let's see what comes out. The Nine of Swords in reverse and the Seven of Pentacles. Make a little bit of room here. So usually I flip reversals around, but I'm gonna leave it because I feel like masculine is kind of having this back and forth energy. Basically, they're feeling very passionate and very ready to start something new. Maybe a new creative endeavor, maybe a new sort of like romance potentially. But there's this uncertainty and this fear of betrayal and loss again, right? And it could have been causing a lot of anxiety and stress, you know, thinking about this sort of potential new beginning that could have some loss to it. But it also, with the Seven of Pentacles, shows me that the masculine is kind of waiting to see what seeds kind of sprout to be sown. The Seven of Pentacles also is about maybe making a change of your mind, though. So, you know, if things are not what you want, you have the potential to change it. Okay, let's get a little bit more. I'm feeling like masculine wants to speak through the tarot. Oh, don't mind my little burnt thing. That's what happens when you don't pay attention to candles, right? Oh my gosh, don't play with fire, kids. Masculine, what else is going on? Let's get some clarifiers. How about that? Let's do a clarifier. Clarifiers for this Ace of Wands. Clarify is the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so let's keep going because this also kind of makes me think of the Nine of Swords in reverse. Whatever these thoughts were about the betrayal and the loss and the stress and the anxiety over this new endeavor, it's potentially that the masculine is breaking free from that. Because even the Nine of Swords in reverse with the Seven of Pentacles kind of shows me a different way of thinking. And the Eight of Swords, of course, with, so let's see, the Ten of Cups came out in reverse under the Five of Swords, okay? So maybe just even masculines thinking emotionally, right? Like there could be some sort of breaking free of this way of thinking about how emotional fulfillment actually comes to fruition. And that's, I say that only because the Ace of Wands is in the upright position. So there's this passion and there's this spark about it, but it seems like there's a little bit of concern from the masculine about like what exactly is going to be produced, okay, with the Seven of Pentacles, like what will come of it. But let's get another clarifier for the Nine of Swords. And this is the Page of Swords in reverse, okay? So not taking a bold action right away. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So even though there is this like desire to step forward, masculine is having kind of like a lot of like shaky back and forth, you know, trying to end the stress and the anxiety and the self-sabotage of what they're actually creating. It feels like the masculine is taking a step back, especially with the Page of Swords in reverse, not rushing in and not being bold about stuff, but also probably really examining, like, what are these stresses? Like, what is this self-sabotage that I'm holding on to? Because, you know, like the Eight of Swords is like, she's blindfolded, but all these swords could actually untie her, right? So it's kind of like, there's a potential that the masculine is looking at, you know, this new, not rushing this emotional fulfillment, you know, because there is this energy of like, well, what am I creating? Again, you know, like the same with the feminine reading that we had, it was like, am I creating these feelings of like loss and betrayal? Like, what am I sowing? What seeds am I planting? What am I waiting for? You know, what am I giving my energy to? Let's get one more clarifier. You know, the Two of Cups was on the bottom of the deck though. So I feel like partnership and like, and romance kind of like, again, with this emotional fulfillment is on the masculine's mind, especially with this Ace of Wands. But not feeling very like sure about it. Like there's the Two of Cups is on the bottom of the deck, but let's get a clarifier for this Seven of Pentacles. Because masculine, it seems like with the, especially with this Page of Swords in reverse, they're not rushing in. And the Seven of Pentacles is like waiting to see what happens, you know, like there's so much swords energy. It's like you're very in your mind right now, masculine. Let's see. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles with the Six. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so absolutely this makes sense. They're just like trying to end the anxiety and the stress and the self-sabotage, loss, betrayal, feelings, thoughts about the Ten of Cups and working with others, collaborating, building something. The Three of Pentacles is like how we work with others, how we collaborate. You know, usually they're building the cathedral in the, you know, the more, what is it called? Traditional tarot. But, you know, basically Three of Pentacles is about how we're working with others, but it's also in reverse. So masculine, I'm really getting an energy that you are nervous, concerned, stressed out, but it's kind of this self-sabotage about your emotional fulfillment because you're not rushing in. They're not feeling like, although there's this passionate, creative desire, there's this feeling of loss or betrayal that's like freaking them out. And even though the Nine of Swords is in reverse and the Eight of Swords is in reverse, those are still energies that are showing up. So let's get a little bit of let's see what kind of oracle. Okay, so the second chakra came out. This has to do with self-esteem, relationships with others, definitely with this Three of Pentacles in reverse. That makes sense. Masculine, even with this Ace of Wands, is feeling, let's see, I was going to say concerned, but I don't think it's concern. I'm hearing insecure. I'm hearing insecure because the sacral chakra is kind of like our passion. It's our relationships. You know, the sacral is also kind of like sexual, well, how we work with others, you know, and with this Three of Pentacles in reverse, what else is going on? I'm going to get a little bit more. What about this sacral chakra? Because that just means that that's the type of work that the masculine needs to focus on. You can do colors, of course, like orange is very good, like eating orange or like visualizing orange around the sexual organs. Like I know that probably may sound weird, but this is energy healing, you know? So there's something within the masculine sexual energy that is causing them self-sabotage, you know, like, but it could just be that they're waiting to see what actually comes. Like, let's get another one of these. How are they like bringing forth their passion? Financial constraints. Okay, so that would make sense too with the Pentacles. You know, how are they bringing forth? Maybe masculines aren't feeling very confident with the financial resources that they have. It could just be earth materials as well, like what they are creating in their world. How are they building with others? It could be a work situation and feeling confident, you know, within their work. Can you guys see this? I can back it up a little bit. Let's get one more about what is the sacral, because you know it's interesting too. I'm sorry to say this, but I remember one time I had a man tell me that this is what makes me a man. Basically, he felt that his sexual organs is what made him a man. So it was kind of like interesting, maybe because the men are, or not, excuse me, the masculine is feeling like they're not in their pentacles, like they're not like whatever they've been working on and creating, you know, is not feeling very secure. There's constraints. It's like being held, and therefore their sacral and their sexual energy and this feeling of, you know, wanting emotional fulfillment. Remember, the Two of Cups came out on the bottom, is like affected. Like they can't really rush in. They don't feel confident. You know, this Nine of Swords and this Eight of Swords, even though it's reversed, it still has this energy of the swords, which is you're in your mind, you're stressed out, you're self-sabotaging, you know, and it could be that whatever constraints in the physical world is affecting their what's the word, like your confidence. And well, I mean, just the way that your relationships and how you're identifying with others, especially with the collaboration, you know, the Three of Pentacles in reverse. How are you working with others? You know, one more. The Magician and the Mirror. Okay, so that would make a lot of sense, because what are they creating in the mirror? You know, like this is a reflection. Again, I'm hearing the guy say that this makes me a man, you know, like he felt so proud and he was like, this, you know, my staff makes me a man. So it could just be that the masculines right now are looking at themselves, you know, they're self-sabotaging in a way, because the Magician is, what are we able to create in this world? How am I manifesting my wishes? Like abracadabra, you know, I speak it, therefore it is. And the Mirror, so they're doing a lot of reflection and looking at themselves, which is a lot of that Swords energy, you know, keeping them up at night. You know, whatever these constraints are in the physical world, it's affecting the way that they feel that they are the Magician in this world. And it could be that maybe they're suffering a little bit of losses. It could be like, you know, emotionally as well. Maybe they've, you know, broken away from working with their emotions. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing right now. That even though like the Eight of Swords is in reverse, it's like they're breaking away from still having this confidence. Like, I'm gonna have to get some more information. Let's get what's going on with this sacral energy. Sacral energy that is affecting the confidence, you know, whatever that Magician in the Mirror energy is. Growth. And look, it kind of matches the colors, right? The growth, whatever it's okay, let me read it. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So the growth, the Seven of Pentacles is about the seeds that we're sowing, what we're excuse me, waiting on, what we expect to grow. And if it's not what we want, that we can change, you know, you can change that. So the growth, even collaborating and working with others with this Three of Pentacles in reverse, you know, this emotional fulfillment. The Ten of Cups is supposed to be like bliss and happy home and everything. And in reverse, you know, it could just be that the masculine is that's so crazy. It says expand consciousness and my awareness, which, you know, the feminine reading, we had expand perception. So, and we kind of, a lot of us energy workers know that the feminine energy is the lead. Like the feminine leads a lot of times, like goes through it first, and then the masculine kind of, they do the work so much faster. Like they can transmute things so much faster, but they're behind. So the masculine really is looking at this way to grow past this stagnation of holding themselves back, of not rushing forward. You know, this page of swords in reverse with the 7 of Pentacles, they're waiting for something. They're waiting for this growth. I'm not, and it's a mental thing though, because it even says the consciousness and awareness, and that makes so much sense with all these swords cards. Like masculine is very much in their mind about what are they creating. Like when they look in the mirror and they see either constraints or losses or like frustrations and stress, like they're like, this is affecting my sacral chakra. This is affecting the way that I work with others, the way that I, you know, bring about my 10 of Cups and my emotional fulfillment with others. And like, what am I making? Like when I'm looking in the mirror, wrong one. When I'm looking in the mirror, am I happy with this? You know, like there's this feeling that they want to grow and expand. And that's going to have to do with your sacral chakra, masculine, okay? And I'm hearing, not coming from a distorted place where you're just like throwing the D. Like that's not what's going to make you feel this positive growth, okay? It's not about this is what makes me a man. Like your staff is not just what makes you a man, okay? It's not. Let's get some chakra. Let's see, masculine, what's up? Because like you're going through, like you're actually, this is good though, that you're not rushing forward and you're looking at this growth, that you want to look in the mirror and feel this, you know, this powerful sense of yourself, that your sex is not what makes you who you are. You know, your financial constraints are not what makes you who you are. Even if you're waiting for something to develop, your pentacles, like if you're waiting for these financial constraints to end, that's not necessarily going to help your growth and expansion of your awareness as you're waiting. Like, I mean, you can take a step back and kind of look at the ways that you are working with others. If you're feeling that certain collaborations or certain ways that you're coming forward is leaving you hurt and it's leaving you feeling loss and betrayal, again, you can end that. You are the magician. You have the power. When you look in the mirror, you know, what do you see? Do you see yourself as powerful, or do you see yourself as emotionally unavailable? You know, like that's what I'm hearing now. Emotionally unavailable with the sacral chakra, with the 10 of Cups in reverse and the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like the masculine is really thinking about their emotional growth. But it's tied to, like, you can't, okay, here's this thing that I've been kind of like talking with my girlfriends about too, because I don't know why men feel like you have to say, oh, hey, I'll take care of you and I'll do this and this. And it's interesting because I know that men like to give to build, right? Like that vision that I had about the birds and the men, like to get her attention, he brings her the twigs and he brings her the flowers, you know, like he thinks he has to bring her something, but guess what? It's more about the emotional fulfillment. It's the thought that counts, okay? So men have to, masculines need to stop assuming that you need to just be like, hey girl, I'll take your life, I'll change your life. Like I'll give you all this and that, but I want you to love me. Like it's like you can't, with me and my girlfriends, like I'm talking to them about, well, if you want emotional connection, you have to stop putting yourself out there that this is all that you have to offer. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want real collaboration and you want real happiness and home, what are you putting your seeds into? Because it sounds so odd for a masculine to be like, hey, I'll take care of you and I'll do all this and that, but I want your emotional giving. So you can't, you need to look at what you're actually making, kind of grow, expanding the consciousness and the awareness. Wow, that's so weird that you both masculine and feminine are having to expand this perception, because if you want emotional fulfillment, you know, yes, you do need to put in certain work in collaboration with someone. Like, what are you sowing though? Are you giving from a place of like, well, I'll help you as long as I can get this back from you, right? Like, that's kind of weird. Like that, I don't know. There's going to have to be some sort of growth in that sacral relationships with others, you know, for the masculine, because that is going to distort your view. I mean, that's just a distorted masculine right there. Basically, don't offer physical if you want emotional. You know what I mean? Like, seek emotional and the physical will come, you know? But again, I feel like masculine, that's just something that masculines have to work through. Like, it's not, the healing never ends, right? Like, we're healing so many generations, what's in our DNA, you know, like the ways that we saw our parents do things, our grandparents do things. Like, men are supposed to provide, you know, like that's what we've been taught, that men provide. They're the ones who kind of like build the house and the home, the women keep it up. But the men, the masculine also has emotional needs, okay? Masculine, you have emotional needs. You need fulfillment as well. When you look in the mirror, you want emotional fulfillment. Stop pretending that this is only what makes you a man. This is not just what makes you a man, okay? There's other parts. There's other parts of us, you know. Masculine, what's going on? Joy, okay? Solar plexus, yellow chakra, joy. Isolation. I'll get one more. And release. Okay, so the isolation card, this one, I remember this story. It's basically about, he keeps the suit in the closet to wear it at a certain special occasion. But like, now is the special occasion. You don't need to wait for this, you know. Your joy basically is in letting go of whatever you're waiting for, whatever financial constraints or what is this? You know, stresses and ties and bindings that you have. And this reminds me of that all tied up card for the feminine reading I did. Whatever constraints that are holding you back, if it's financial, if it's physical, if you're waiting for something to manifest, you don't need to wait to enjoy this good suit. Like, bring your joy now, okay? Release your regrets and release your what is this? It's kind of like release these feelings of loss and betrayal. Like, we only have today, right? And yes, I think for masculines, like, they're very much concerned with the future and how are they going to build and what are they actually creating when they look in the mirror, like, what's going to happen? Like, how am I continuing to build and work forward? But, you know, with these reverse swords cards, it's kind of like your mental is asking for a step back. It's asking for you to release, you know, these feelings that you need to wait and isolate yourself from your joy. And it's interesting because this is the throat chakra, okay? So speaking your truth, it's kind of like acknowledging that you have passion and you have needs outside of just physical financial constraints, okay? The growth and expansion of your awareness is absolutely all these swords cards, because you have emotional fulfillment that you desire. And you can let go of regrets, of things that, you know, maybe have plagued you. You don't have to rush in. Like, healing is not a rushing thing. That's why the Page of Swords is also in reverse, because the good thing is masculines, they're one track minded, right? Like, or they one thing at a time. So it's kind of like you are considering, there's that Seven of Pentacles. You're still considering, what is my growth and expansion? What am I working towards, you know? What am I creating as the magician in my mirror, you know? But your joy is in releasing this feeling that you have to wait to put the suit on. Like, you're worthy of the suit whenever, like today, like now, like you look good in your suit today, baby, right? Put that on, you know, like you're fancy, you're worthy. Let's get one of these spirit animal. Oh, that one jumped. All right, masculine, the raven. Okay, it says the shaman. You are the creator and the magician. What the? Well, go ahead, masculine. Tell me how you really feel. You're the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and work. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. I feel like absolutely this is like the release of the isolation is the gliding through the void. Because like the isolation is like, I'm waiting to wear this. No, you are the magician now. You know, you're the creator. Use your gifts for good. Tell yourself this when you look in the mirror. I am the creator. I use my gifts for good. You know, claim your place as keeper of the mysteries, because sometimes like we just don't know, like you try things, you put it out there and it works or it doesn't work. You know, it was like, you can always build again. You can keep going. If it's not working out how you want it, switch it up. You know, you are the magician. It says it like so clearly. You are the creator and the magician. You can expand that way of thinking so that, you know, when these stresses and this self-sabotage about your financial constraints are actually creating this emotional fulfillment that you desire and bringing your joy through those relationships and your own sacral passion, right? You know, through your own passions and desires, it's like you're able to see through the deceit, and you're able to not necessarily rush forward in this boldness. You know, the Page of Swords, he's usually got like this, it's like the page is like someone who's like novice, like new, but he's holding this huge sword. He's real bold and excited to get forward. Like, you might not know exactly what you're doing, but you got it and you want to go forward. So with this in reverse, it's like you can claim, though, glide through the void. You don't have to just jump right through it, you know? Like, you're freeing yourself from a lot of self-sabotage. You are expanding your consciousness and your awareness into understanding that you are the creator. And if you don't like what you're potentially making, or if you're feeling like, you know, sometimes with this Five of Swords, with these losses, you cut your losses and you start over, right? You always will have creative passion to begin again. And you don't need to wait until your finances or your physical world is producing something that you feel you can collaborate with, you know, you can put the suit on now. Release these old ways of feeling that you're not fulfilling enough, because right now, today, you absolutely are, though. Like, everything is as it should be right now. Like, as hard as that sounds, everything is as it should be right now. But there's always room for growth. There's always room to let go of the stresses and the worries that keep us up at night, you know, and that's going to just come down to expanding your consciousness and actually, you know, releasing what is keeping you in the void, right? Because you are the creator. You can free yourself from, you know, whatever is holding you back. I feel like creative passion is something really big to you right now. You really want to grow. Like, look at these colors. Like, even with this joy, I'm just going to go ahead and end the reading on this. Like, you know, you are the creative, passionate magician of your own relationship with yourself and relationship with others. You can bring joy through the growth of your own consciousness and expansion, so that you remember that you can glide through the veil, you know, release whatever. I know it's really hard to just say, oh, release it, but you don't have to wait to put the suit on. You can look good today, right? You can feel good today. Like, these swords are still in reverse. And it's not it's not necessarily that you have to rush through this, because what you sow, what you're sowing, what you're planting in the ground is going to be your mirror and your magician, your creative passion, you know. So just keep growing. It's you're doing beautiful work. And it's nice to see actually masculines looking at more of, like, I mean, the 10 of Cups was in reverse, but that still means that's still the energy that's on their mind, though. Emotional fulfillment, joy, you know, passion, and working, collaborating with others, you know. These financial constraints, the constraints of the world that keep us tied up, it's not that's not what makes us who we are. Yes, we will have to deal with these effed up situations. And again, it's just going to be like, well, what are you creating as the magician? It's so odd, both feminine and masculine. We are the creators. This is our divine creation, okay? Mwah, mwah. I love you so much. You have the power. I'll see you next time.